Alan Bates. Laps to go. Let's see who will be the new French Brothers Tyres 1985 Australian Hot Rod Champion. The charge of cars comes down Main straight away. The green flag falls and they're on their way. Everyone taking it fairly steadily too in the first few laps. The track is a little bit slippery and a little bit muddy. Everyone settling down nice and steadily. And the 31 of Gary Jeffs is the driver who's gone to the lead. Here's a driver coming round the outside, number 12. That's Graham Edmond. Stan Marco is hanging on to third place. There's Jones going round the outside. And look at the Australian champ. That's Jeff Russell. He's moved up into 5th place already. Russell's already moved up into 4th place now. Tony Hopping is trying to go through with him. These two drivers have elected to take the high line early in the race. Russell's now up into 3rd place and Alan Bates has been hampered by the traffic a bit. Gary Jeffs is the leader at the moment, followed by Graham Edmond. Then comes Jeff Russell and Tony Hopping. Russell is the current Australian champion, the defending champion. Tony Hopping is right with him though, and Hopping going round the outside of Russell too. Hopping doing well. He's elected while the track's a little bit wet to take the high line, and there's plenty of room to pass, and Hopping's done it. He's gone to the lead. Hopping takes up the lead on the outside. Russell's trying to go with him, but Hopping's out in front. Russell's going to have to chase him and chase him hard. This track will start to dry out, and the time to make the passes is in the first few laps when there's plenty of room to do it. Hopping leads from Russell, followed then by Edmond. Here's Alan Bates starting to come through too. He's moved up now into 6th place so that he doesn't fall too far off the pace. Tony Hopping in the blue number 0 is the leader, but the pressure is coming from the current Australian champ, Jeff Russell, in the number 1 car, right behind him. The number 12 of Graham Edmond is running 3rd. Then the 64. Jeff Russell's gone to the lead, but it's too late. They'll have to go back a lap. Lucky there for Tony Hopping. Very lucky. But the steering just Oh, Russell got away very, very quickly as they were sent away. And it was Russell who went quickly. Now keep an eye on Alan Bates and Tony Hopping to see whether they can stay in touch with him. But I would imagine now that the tactics of Jeff Russell will be to scoot out and put as much space between he and the rest of the field as he possibly can. Russell's the leader from Hopping, followed by Edmond. Oh, Bates is in trouble. Bates slowed down there and dropped back a place as Graham Gillespie went past him very quickly. He's got going again now though, but something seemed to go wrong there for Alan Bates. In the meantime, Jeff Russell is really blitzing them. Oh, big oversteer problem coming out of turn 4. But Russell still leads from Hopping. Then comes Edmond and Lavender in 4th place. In 5th place at the moment is the yellow hot rod number 64 of Kevin Ray. Lying in 6th spot is Graham Gillespie in the number 2, and he slowed down dramatically there too. And he dropped back from 6th to 8th place as Alan Bates and Lou Usher both went past him. Jeff Russell is the leader. Going down the back straight away, and when he comes past our broadcasting point this time, he'll have 28 laps left to run. Now he has a lead of something like 200 metres at the moment over the second placed car, the blue O car of Tony Hopping. Back in third place is the number 12 of Graham Edmund. In fourth place, oh, there's Graham Edmund gone. Graham Edmund's gone. He's onto the infield. He's out of the race. So this leaves Australia 1, Jeff Russell, clearly in front. Lapping cars now, lapping them like crazy. He's a good 250 metres clear of Sydney O. That's Tony Hopping. In third place, our Newcastle driver, Eric Lavender. In fourth place, Newcastle driver, Kevin Ray. In fifth place, Lismore's Lou Usher. In sixth place, our Newcastle driver and New South Wales champion, Alan Bates. So Bates is on the tail of this little group of cars who are dicing for third, fourth, fifth and sixth place. But the man who's really doing it well at the moment is Jeff Russell, the current Australian champion. Past these slower cars he goes without any trouble at all, and he's putting a tremendous amount of space between he and Tony Hopping. Eric Lavender is a similar gap back in third place. And Kevin Ray and Lou Usher are fighting it out with Eric Lavender for that third, fourth and fifth place. Now in fact, Jeff Russell is now clear of the pack, and he's going to start moving up on Alan Bates. He's got Alan Bates in his gun sights, and that means he's going to start lapping them with only half the race over. Alan Bates is definitely having problems. I'd say he's got fuel problems with this car, Alan Bates. It goes and then it stops, and then it goes and then it stops. And we've got a hold up. Now, that's going to bring Jeff Russell back to the field. Away they go. Russell went very quickly. Hopping's trying to go with him and make a bit of a race out of it. Down the back straight away though, Russell's just got too much power for them. Bates has now got a little bit of a move on, and he's getting up into fourth place to try and stay in touch with Russell. Here's Bates putting in the big ones now, and Bates is up to third. Alan Bates is up into third place. It'll be interesting to see whether he might be able to get up to Hopping and get out after Russell, but Russell's got it in his grasp at the moment. All he's got to do is keep his cool, hope that nothing goes wrong with the car, and he will retain his Australian championship. Hopping is in second place, and he's under pressure from Bates, but that car of Bates is just not working right now. Something's wrong with it. It's died on Bates again. It's stalled on him. Now, Alan Bates has come to a halt, and that'll make Jeff Russell happy as he goes past to see that Alan Bates is having problems. There's just something wrong with it. It could be a fuel problem, could be an electrical problem with something shorting out on him, but it seems to... Away they go. Hopping got away well on the outside. He's going to take Russell on in the first corner. Hopping on the outside, Russell on the inside. Hopping's going to try and go with him. Russell on the inside, Hopping on the outside. Who's going to give in here? Russell and Hopping. Russell's got the better line though, and he comes away with it. And Russell hangs on to the lead from Hopping, followed then by Usher. Then comes Law. Oh, Hopping got up very high there, and that's allowed Russell to skip right away from him and open up a break of about 30 or 40 metres. But he's certainly driving a much smoother line. Hopping's very, very untidy coming through turn 3 and 4. And Russell, with the far better, smoother line, is starting to move away. Now Now another Lismore driver is moving up into third place at the moment. That's Lou Usher to start to put a bit of pressure on Hopping, who's starting to oversteer rather badly coming out of turn 4. Then Usher, followed by Lawler. Lavender's dropped back now into 5th place. But it's all visiting drivers at the moment. Lismore's Jeff Russell is clear of Sydney's Tony Hopping. And then Lismore's Lou Usher, who's coming through on the inside of Hopping here. Hopping coming back at him, but he's got too much oversteer, does Hopping, and Usher will eventually pick him up, I'd say. Hopping on the outside, Usher on the inside, having a great struggle. Oh, and Hopping's gone very high again. This has allowed Usher to come through this time. It won't handle for Hopping at all. He really gives it plenty, though. Here's Usher coming back on the inside of Hopping as he has this steering problem. Hopping starting to blow some smoke as he pushes it very hard. He's got to push it hard to stay in front of Usher. And this is where Usher might eventually put too much pressure on him. Well, there goes Jones in the number 36. He's had a spin. He's getting mobile again. Bates is coming back on the track, but he's a long, long way behind. Usher has now got by Hopping to move up into 2nd place. So we've got Lismore drivers running 1st and 2nd at the moment. Jeff Russell from Lismore, Lou Usher from Lismore. Oh, there's trouble. Eric Lavender right into the wall. As Lawler moved up on Hopping, Lavender was severely hampered there and he went up over the Lawler car and slammed straight into the wall, and it looks like he needs some help. There are 8 to go officially on the lap scorers' books. 8 to go. Jeff Russell, the current Australian champion, trying to retain that title and is only 8 laps away from it. Nine cars remaining. Jeff Russell, Lou Usher, and Tony Hopping. Away they go. Russell got away very well. No challenge at all from Usher there. In fact, I think Usher was caught napping a little. Russell certainly wasn't caught napping though. And Russell now is just 7 laps away from victory. Russell the leader from Usher. Then comes Hopping, followed by Gary Jeffs. Then Alan Bates. I don't think Alan Bates would actually be he's in 5th place on the track there at the moment, but I don't think he'd be in 5th place in the race because he was out of the race for quite a few laps, but he'll certainly pick up quite a few now as he's still going. Jeff Russell, then Lou Usher and Tony Hopping. Oh, there's another bit of a bump there too. Danny Jones has gone round again, flat tyre. Danny Jones is out with a flat. Stand by. Well, Jeff Russell is away and away again very quickly. Russell the leader, followed then by Usher, and then comes Hopping and Bates. Next is Gary Jeffs and Joe Lawler. Jeff Russell is way out in front. Seems to have a big break on them. And having them held comfortably. Usher is in second place. Then comes Hopping. Bates is trying to make up as much ground as he possibly can, but I don't think he would be in outright third placing. One lap to go for the defending champion Jeff Russell, then Lou Usher, and then Tony Hopping. But coming out of turn number 4, the current Australian champion Jeff Russell will successfully defend his Australian title. Russell is first. Second place goes to another Lismore driver, Lou Usher. Third on the track is Alan Bates, but I think it will go to the Sydney driver, Tony Hopping, just in front of Newcastle driver Gary Jeffs. And what a tremendous drive by Gary Jeffs. Joe Lawler was next, then came Doug Black, and then Mark Olsen, and I would think that Alan Bates would finish up there somewhere, but certainly not in the top 3.